I was born in Maddox Cove, a Newfoundland outport bolted to the easternmost rocks of North America. A couple dozen houses, a fish plant, and a fisherman's co-op, all brightened with coats of leftover boat paint, oranges, reds, yellows, greens, guiding us home through the fog. Our house, a traditional two-story salt box, was perched on a 100-foot cliff. It was a sometimes brutal, sometimes beautiful life. Dad believed in hard, heatless living, frozen toilet water in the morning, and oversized down jackets from Canadian Tire. Mom, born in Brooklyn, New York, was delicate and rail-thin, and spent decades shivering against the wind. Both Americans, they had crossed into Canada in protest of the Vietnam War. They were in their early 20s choosing between Newfoundland and Montreal, both places with their own promise of romance and adventure. Newfoundland won out, a tack that shaped the course of my life. I might have grown up nibbling croissants and sipping espresso, but instead I was born on the rock. Newfoundland became my father's domain. He was manic and larger than life, and secondhand stories about him litter the outports. The time he cut a house in two with a chainsaw, pulled each half by truck over a mile, and nailed it back together. Or when his boat engine died and he was marooned among the towering icebergs and paddled home. When he ate raw baby seal. When he stopped the drunken slaughter of a pig by a gang of kids who were chasing the poor swine with sledgehammers. And the time he built a barn with no nails and no saw. A linguist who studied with Chomsky, he spent months at a time living and working with the Inuit of Labrador. Year after year, he would take the mailboat up the coast, sleeping on the deck, living in the grinding poverty of the tundra. He was a father who lived with the intensity of the true north. He would return home in a swirl of stories, hunting for seal on the ice pack, dogs eating a 4-year-old child, his good friend Ken, the bear hunter, shooting at American military jets when they scared away caribou. Back in Maddox Cove, my mother was often on her own with 2 small children. She had to learn to keep house at the edge of the earth. There were no fresh vegetables, so she planted a garden, but was only able to coax potatoes, cabbage, and turnips from the unforgiving rock. She hauled firewood to heat the house, churned butter by hand, and baked mountains of rolls. All the while, she had to be vigilant to keep my sister and me from tumbling over the cliffs. She kept Newfoundland custom, serving fish cakes on Fridays, and looked the other way when neighbors plied me with soda, candy, chocolate bars, and French fries. My mom was cut from a different cloth than my dad, but they shared a fearless, open spirit. Our house was crammed with collected treasures. Half-broken antiques that my dad was going to fix one day, huge pieces of driftwood that my mom hauled back from the shore. Dad drove Mom crazy by taking apart engines in the living room, leaving parts scattered everywhere. There were towers of books about statistics, Cuba, poetry, Sartre, books of riddles, a book about the mafia, another on the Japanese game of Go, engine repair manuals, mushroom hunting guides. Eventually, it got so bad that they built a 2-story tall bookcase, firmly bolted to the wall, that was designed to be climbed to retrieve a volume. That was our jungle gym. In the attic, there were dozens of boxes of cassette tapes. I'd sneak up with my tape player, choose one at random, and listen for hours. I'd hear disembodied voices from worlds apart. Inuit and Gaelic songs, Newfoundland outport stories and reels, bits of German, French, and Italian. A lifetime of hoarding for a linguist.